First of all, it was just to protect the federal property, because it was still federal property at that time. But then it was to protect that footprint. And that sacred ground, it just speaks to it. Always has.
People began almost immediately, as they had done during the rescue and recovery efforts, of putting items on the fence.
They want to somehow say, I was here. They want somehow to give something of themselves. You get the impression that frequently it's whatever they actually have on them. Sometimes you can tell that they were planned, that it was something they actually made or had made and have brought specifically for the purpose of leaving. But you can also tell that many are spontaneous, and so it's just different day-to-day objects.
We realized in the early days that people wanted to memorialize, and they wanted to remember and to pay tribute. And that fence became that first memorial.
It became a place to come and mourn and to celebrate at the same time. And it became a massive pilgrimage. I could go to the fence at any given time and give you 12 countries and 25 states represented on the fence.
And so the fence became really important. As we were going through the process of the design, the dean of the University of Washington Architecture School was on the panel, on the final selection panel, and he encouraged us to look at what we do with the fence in the next phase. He encouraged us to have a community ceremony where we would pick this fence up and move it. So symbolically, we would be moving forward, we'd be moving the community forward.
Everybody wanted a piece to be a part of. That's one of the things that would probably stick in my memory the rest of my life, is moving of that fence.
It also took on a life of its own, and it became the memorial. Because of that, we faced a difficult decision to modify their design to somehow incorporate the fence into the memorial.
On a late night call with Hans and Tori, we said we reconsider where to put a section of the fence. They came back within 24 hours and said, how about if we put sections of the fence on the 903 side of the gate?
It tells the story and gives them an opportunity to say, I understand and I reflect, and this is a part of me that respects what happened here, what happened to you. I talked to them even years later, say, yeah, I was down there and I put something on the fence, and what happens to it? And I told them the process. It was archived. Oh, they thought that was just wonderful, that we would take the time and effort to keep those items on that fence and protect them forever.